You need to know only the compilation command and running command. Okay, that I'll show you after explanation of program, and I'll show you the output too. So now let us move on to the program. So the initial thing, when you look at the structure of the program, it is same as normal CPP program, and the only thing is you are using the OpenGL routines here, and the main thing to note is you have to include the OpenGL libraries. Do not forget those things. Okay, so the program start with hash include glut. You have to include it within the program. In certain cases or in certain system, you have to also include gl.h. Okay, other than glut. All right, and then what you see here is four variables: x1, y1, x2, y2. Can you tell me what it is? What is x1, y1, x2, y2? What is that? What would be the reason for these four variables? What is our input? This is Bresenham's line drawing algorithm, right? We have two endpoints. Given two endpoints, we have to find the intermediate points between the two endpoints, and we need to have a straight line. That should be our output, right? So we have to give the two endpoints to the system as input, right? So those 4 points, or we call it as coordinate x1, y1, x2, y2, that you can store it in four variables, say x1, y1, x2, y2. All right, now let us move to main program and then come back. Okay, so this is our main program. So our first task is to enter the four coordinates. All right, enter the coordinates. First of all, we have to give the endpoints to the system to give it as the input to the Bresenham's line drawing algorithm. Say x1, y1, x2, y2. This be our coordinates. Let the user enter the coordinates to the system. And then we are invoking the OpenGL routine. You have to initialize that. Then next thing is you are to create the display window, right? So creation of display window, you have to set the display mode. Then you have to set the window size, then window position, then create window. This is just setting the title. Okay, these things we discussed while taking how to create a display window using OpenGL. Just give the initialization with command line arguments, and then set the display mode, and then set the window size, window position, and the title. Okay, then you invoke init function. Okay, after init function, you're moving to display function. So let us go to init function now. Initialization function. So here you are setting the, this is nothing but you're setting the background color. What is the color of the this thing? Here we are setting the background color to black. Okay, matrix mode, projections, we are setting orthogonal two-dimensional projection. Okay, so these things constitute the background steps. After this, we have seen in the main program, we are invoking the display function. Okay, so this is our display function. So within display function, there is another function. Okay, there is another function call. Okay, that is draw line with the parameters as our coordinate x1, x2, y1, y2. So this draw line is our main function where we are actually implementing the Bresenham's algorithm. Okay, so let us see how that works. Yeah. So this is our main function here where the Bresenham's line drawing algorithm is being illustrated. So you can see the parameters or input to this function is x1, x2, y1, y2. And then as we mentioned, what are the important things which we require? One second. Okay. What are the important things which we require when we just came across this problem? The first thing was we need delta x, we need delta y, and then we need 2 delta y, we need 2 delta y minus 2 delta x, correct? So similar way, first you calculate delta x. Okay, that is dx. For that, first of all, you have to initialize the variable dx, dy. Okay, and you also have something called as I and E. I is for looping, and E is nothing but for calculating this thing, a decision parameter pk. Instead of pk we are using e here, and then you have certain other things, increment x, increment y, increment 1 2, that we will come back when we are explaining this. So our initial task is to first calculate the delta x value. Delta x equal to x2 minus x1. So our delta x is nothing but dx. Dx equal to x2 minus x1. Then dy, that is delta y equal to y2 minus y1. Okay. And there are two cases. Here you can see that if dx is less than 0, we are keeping dx equal to minus dx. That is if this x2 is greater, or if we can say that if x2 is less than x1, we get minus dx. Similarly, if y2 is less than y1, we get minus dy. Okay, in that case you just have this absolute value, or otherwise you can give the absolute value here instead of giving this if loop. Then we are setting increment x equal to 1. Okay, we are assuming that, suppose we have a window screen like this, we are assuming that starting from the lower left we are moving up. Okay, so if this is x1, x2 will be obviously be greater than x1, right? So suppose this is the case where x2 is less than x1, which means what, we are starting from the topmost portion. So how will we increment? Our increment should be in the minus direction. Okay, this way. Generally we move from left, lower left to the upper left. So when you take x1, x2 will be greater than x1, right? So it is plus 1. And if from x2 the next step will be plus 1, then next will be plus 1. But suppose if this is the case, like x2 is less than x1, that is our first point starts from here, which means the next step should be down, which means minus 1. This is minus 1, minus 1, like that we go on drawing the line. Okay, so this is general line. Why we are giving all this condition? Because anyhow the line has to be drawn. If we do not generalize, and if we give only the increment from x1, assuming that x2 is always greater than x1, if we give the input the other way, it may not work. That is the reason why we are giving all possibilities here. Okay, so if even if we give x2 which is less than x1, then it should work the other way, which means the increment should be in minus 1. All right, now let us set increment y equal to 1 if it is other way. Okay, if it is other way, it should work in the negative direction, that is it should be minus 1. Okay, that is a possibility, that's all. Okay, so till now what and all we did, we just declared the variables, and then we calculated delta x, we calculated delta y, and then we just assume the possibility. Suppose if we are not moving from left to right, if the line has been drawn from top to bottom, then what are the changes which is to be incorporated? Increment has to be in minus 1, even in the in the y direction also. If this has been less than y1, then it has to be in the minus 1. Okay, so till that our possibilities are being done. Now we will start. Let's say x equal to x1, y equal to y1, that is the first endpoint. Okay, now we are checking if dx is greater than dy. That is the first condition. We know in decision parameter, first we will check, keeping x as xk, our decision is to, we have to decide whether we have to increment y or we will keep the y constant, whereas we will increment x anyhow one step. Correct, we have xk plus 1. See, look at this one. Yeah, so we have xk. After xk, the next point will be xk plus 1, be it anything. But depending on the decision parameter, our yk will vary. Either it will be same yk, or it will be yk plus 1. It depends upon the value of decision parameter. If pk is less than 0, we will keep yk. If it is greater than 0, we will keep yk plus 1. So now what we do is, see, if dx greater than dy, then again invoking draw pixel xy. Okay, then we are calculating the decision parameter e equal to 2 into dy minus dx. How did we get this? This is our initial thing. Where is that? Yeah, see, This is our initial decision parameter P0 equal to 2 delta y minus delta x, right? So the same thing we are calculating 2 into delta y is nothing but dy, delta x is nothing but dx. So E equal to 2 into dy minus dx. Okay. Now, as I said, first we will calculate the initial parameter. And then what we have to do? We have to do two things. That is 2 delta y we have to calculate, and we also have to calculate 2 delta y minus 2 delta x. Okay. So this 2 delta y, let us say we are keeping in a variable called as increment 2. Okay. So that is 2 into dy. That is in variable increment 2. You can keep any variable as you wish. So I am keeping it in increment 2. That is 2 delta y. And then that is 2 delta y minus 2 delta x. This one I am keeping in a variable called as increment 1. That is 2 into dy minus dx. Okay, what I did here, this is the initial decision parameter 2 delta y minus dx. That is 2 into dy minus dx. Then increment 1 is nothing but 2 into dy minus dx, and increment 2 is 2 into dy. These are the required things to calculate our next coordinate. Are you able to follow? Uh, Are you listening? Are you able to follow?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So far we have calculated these three things here. How we did in the problem. P0, we calculated 2 delta y and 2 delta y minus 2 delta 6, and we stored in a variable. Okay. After this, as I mentioned, once we have to check whether the decision parameter is greater than 0 or less than 0. Okay. So this checking will go till delta x minus 1 times. We know that, right? So we will keep the for loop which varies till less than dx. Okay. So for I equal to 0, I less than dx, I plus plus, which means till delta x minus 1 times these things will be repeated. Okay. Now we are checking the decision parameter whether it is greater than 0. If it is greater than 0, what is our condition? See, if it is greater than 0, we have to increment both x as well as y. Okay. So let us see. If it is greater than 0, we are incrementing y. Y plus equal to increment y. Okay. And decision parameter also we have to change, right? What is decision parameter? That is pk plus. Here our decision parameter is e. Okay. That is e plus 2 delta y minus 2 delta x. We have already stored this 2 delta y minus 2 delta x in a decision parameter called as increment 1. Okay. This one. All right. So what is our new parameter? That is, here we know this is pk plus 1 equals pk plus, what is this, increment 1. Okay, the same thing applies here. That is e is our pk plus 1, or our decision parameter, that is equal to e plus increment 1, that is 2 into dy minus dx. This is the case when decision parameter is greater than 0. Okay. Or else, that is, if it is less than 0, what was the condition? If it was less than 0, we will keep the y as same. Okay, so there is no change in the y, and we are incrementing only x. Okay. And then we have a change in the any doubts? Danush? Danush, any doubts? Danush, please unmute your audio, otherwise I have to remove you. Okay. All right. So we were telling, if the decision parameter is less than 0, then we have the new decision parameter as pk plus 2 delta y. Okay, 2 delta y we already have stored here. That is in increment 2 variable, right? So e equal to e plus increment 2. That is e plus equal to increment 2. All right, and in both the cases we are incrementing x obviously, so that's why we are keeping it outside. If it is less than 0 or if it is greater than 0, obviously we will increment x, okay, within this for loop. So x equal to x plus increment x. Increment x is nothing but we have already stored it as 1, if you remember here. Okay, so this x will be incremented in either of the two cases. Again we are invoking the draw pixel xy because for the next, that is keeping this as a current k, now we will invoke it till we reach the other endpoint. This is the case where dx is greater than dy. Okay, now suppose if dx is less than dy, okay, in that case we are just changing the x thing. We are keeping the y constant and we are focusing only on the x. Okay, in either of the cases we will be incrementing y. Whether to increment x or not depends upon the value of the decision parameter. Okay, the same procedure, only thing is there is a change in the value of x and y. See here, if the decision parameter is greater than 0, in the previous case we incremented x, right? Sorry, y, right? Here we are incrementing x. Okay, if decision parameter is less than 0, we will keep the x value same. Okay, in both the cases we will be incrementing the y value. Have you understood this problem, how the program can be correlated with the problem which you learned? If you didn't understand, you ask me now only. Have you understood? Should I explain once again? Have you understood or not? Should I explain once again? If you want me to explain, I can explain. You tell me.
Understood, ma'am.
Understood. Okay. So only logic which you need to know is this one. I hope this note is there. You just have to know this much logic. That is, what all things you require to calculate. You need to calculate only dx, dy. Then you need to have the initial decision parameter 2 into dy minus dx. Then you need to have two other calculations which is required for the decision parameter updation, that is 2 into dy minus dx and 2 into dy, and you store all these calculation into some variable. E is your decision parameter, increment 1 is the increment 1 and increment 2 are the other two calculation which depends upon the value of e. Okay, and the next step is whether the decision parameter e is greater than 0 or less than 0. If it is greater than 0, you need to increment y and then change the e value to original e plus 2 into dy minus dx. If it is less than 0, then you need to keep the y value the same and then add increment 2, that is 2 into dy to the original e. That's all. And this is the case where x is moving one step and we are changing the y value based on the decision parameter. Suppose if you keep the y value, that is, you imagine that the y is moving one step ahead, then you have to decide whether to move x or increment x by 1 or to keep the x value same. Again, that is dependent upon the value of e. Okay, so once this is done, your line drawing is done. Okay, but again you have to display it onto the screen, right? So our control returned back here. Okay, this is what we explained, right? From the main function we created the display window. After the display window we called the initialization. In this initialization function we set the background color, projection mode and all, and then we invoke the display function. Within the display function you have the line drawing algorithm function and the control returns here. Then you have to have this gl flush. Only if you give this command, the output will be printed on the screen. Okay, and then in order for the entire program to work, you need to have this important command, that is glut main loop. So once this is done, this is how you need to execute the program. Let me show the output now. Just a minute. Can you see this? I mean, I just took a snap from the system. Is it so? Okay, okay. So, can you see this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, remaining thing, only thing is you have to have this, whatever the program I shown, you have to have that in your notepad. Okay, in Ubuntu, if you're executing, you just type gedit and file name.cpp. You can type the program over there and then open the command prompt and then just give the command gcc space your file name.cpp, and then you have to link all the libraries, right? OpenGL library, you have GL, GLU and glut. Okay, the only thing you have to be careful is with the case sensitive nature of this commands. Okay, once you give the file name.cpp, here you can see minus l link gl. This gl should be in capital, and then link glu is again in capital, l is in small. This l link l is in small, glu is in caps. Okay, again link glut. Here if you give this glut in capital, then your program will not execute. This glut should be in small letter. Please note, see, every time you may do everything correctly, in the end this is the place where most of you forget. So this glut, please remember, this should be in small letter. GL and GLU, mandatorily it should be in capital. Okay, once this is done, if there are no errors, you will get the next prompt, and there you have to give running command dot slash a dot out. Okay, then what is our input? The system will ask enter x1 y1 x2 y2. That is, we have to enter the coordinates or endpoints. Okay, so I've given 100, 200, 300, 400 as my coordinate, and this is the output which we get given this coordinate, the line. You got it?